is Tuesday. How are we doing tonight? Tell me about your Tuesday. I want to know, how are you Tuesdaying? Tuesdaying? Is that a thing? Hey, Rick, how are you? Have a holly jolly Rick. Rick in first. First, Rick. I think that's a first that you're in first. Welcome. I hope all is well with you and the family. Hey, Adele and Dazzle. Great to have you here. Great to have everybody here. Tell me what you guys are grateful for this evening. What are we grateful for? On this Tuesday evening. It is great to have everybody here at more 8 than I guess I'm really not more 8 than ish tonight. Hey, Rick, it's like winning the Powerball, getting in first. I'm just saying, it's the same exact feeling. Same exact feeling. You're there. You're there, my friend. You are. I hope all is well and good in South Carolina. Yes, Kitty. Grateful to be healthy. That is a big one. I mean, there are a lot of very sick people. I've talked to a lot of people this week who either have COVID or have someone very close to them that had gotten very sick with it. At least most people still do not have the very bad symptoms. Most people are very mild, but when it's bad, it's bad. So it is a little scary with that, but we still got to get up in the morning. We still got to go for it. So I get it. On this Tuesday evening, we get it. I'm grateful. We just had a little holiday in Springfield. Nice, Rick. 100 pieces of Lennox, Waterford, Rodco. That's great. Hello, Kim from Texas. Oh, I'm sorry, Kitty. It has been it has been hard. We've had close to us as well. I haven't talked about it much, but we've had it close. It's hit close to home as well. So, but my heart is out to you and to that person's family, man of the church there. That is, yeah, I'm sad. It's hard. The virus is still with us while the vaccine is on the way. So, I mean, there's a lot of good, and I'm hearing more and more positive on people, that want to get in line to take the vaccine and want to get in line, as soon as their socio group or wherever they are in line, they want their spot. They're not going for a later spot. Even Nana said today she's gonna get the vaccine whenever her spot is first available. So I mean, that is good for all of us. The more people that are able to get it, and we're headed in the right direction, but that does not help all those that have passed and that are suffering with it. But on a happier note, it's really encouraging to see the vaccinations start. It's hard because they got to do it 3 weeks apart, but 2 doses 3 weeks apart. But it is very encouraging to see it start, Kim. Very encouraging. We just came from, in Springfield, Massachusetts, in the western part of the state, they have one of the largest drive-through holiday light displays in the Northeast. I think it's in the Northeast, isn't it?
Yeah, it's one of the largest light displays in the Northeast. Not just that it's drive-through, it's one of the largest light displays.
Yeah, it's one of the largest light displays in the Northeast, not just that it's drive-through, but it is a drive-through one. And we took a very leisurely drive through it, a very we had snacks. So a lot of times they sell snacks, they have little concessions through it and everything. We've been through it in past years, and they have concessions, and you can stop and see Santa, and they have other things through it. And this year they had none of that. So we packed the car with snacks and hot cocoa and everything as we drove through and took in the music and took in and really slowed down to take it all in. I mean, we've seen some of these lights before. They had new ones. They've had ones we've seen in years past. But we really slowed down to see it. They have a whole, Dr. Seuss is based in lived in Springfield, Massachusetts. And so they have a whole section devoted to him. It's just an amazing display. It's amazing, and it springs hope, and it springs dreaming, and it springs faith in the betterment of humanity, and it's a generally feel-good thing, okay? And the world needs more feel-good right now. The world needs more feel-good. And so we truly enjoyed taking part in that. It really was very festive. Even had a big menorah display. We've got the menorah lit. We are lit for Hanukkah and to light up your world. Hey, Kelly's with us from snowy and cold Albuquerque, a high of 34. Brr! It has been cold here today, but it's going to warm up so it can snow. Isn't that great? It is, yeah, we are cold here, but it's going to warm up enough to snow. We're supposed to get they're threatening a ton of snow on Thursday, Wednesday night into Thursday. I am hoping that it is less than what some of the wild predictions, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't like to shut down the world before we get there. But now with remote schooling capabilities, schools don't close. You don't get to get up in the morning and say, school's closed! But I don't know that we'll have the same for businesses. Hey, Michelle, great to have you here. Great to have you here on the 6th night of Hanukkah, lighting up our life. It is great to have you. Well, let's get started tonight. I've got a few things to go over tonight. I don't have our full budget conversation because I'm behind, but I've got a good, I figured out my problem today while I was working on something else, but I didn't get it implemented. Tonight, we start this program every night with the Good Morning, Good Night book. The Good Morning, Good Night book is how we start this program every night. Tonight, we are on page 28, if you're following along in the book. Page 28. Good morning. Woke up achy and sad? Not alone. Woke up with purpose and joy? Not alone. Any way you slice it, you're not alone. Let's go. This page was written for us. It was. Well, we are on the 6th night of Hanukkah. And, I didn't read last night because I was not here last night. So I will give you the 5th night of Hanukkah and then the 6th, which is tonight. We did light the menorah when I got home last night. We did have the menorah lighting. because the Hanukkah Harry can't bring down the gifts if there's no lit menorah. So no menorah, no gifts. And so that menorah was lit when we got home. We got lit. Yes, it is, Michelle. It's like Lin-Manuel Miranda wrote it for us. It is like they wrote it for us. So last night, on the fifth night of Hanukkah, according to the fifth night, is about compassion. The fifth Hanukkah candle sparks compassion. Compassion for ourselves, our friends, animals, and even those we don't like that much. Being compassionate can change everything. You can either practice being right or practice being kind. I like that. You can either practice being right or practice being kind. Choose kindness, people. That was last night, the fifth night of Hanukkah. Tonight we are on day 6. Day 6. Day 6 is for diversity. The sixth candle sparks the importance of honoring how diverse our world is. No one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin or his background or his religion or sexual orientation. People must learn to hate. And if they can learn to hate, they can learn to love. If they can learn to hate, they can learn to love. Because love comes more naturally to the human heart. Nelson Mandela. If you can learn to hate, you can learn to love. So the sixth night is about diversity. There you go. You have gotten lit as we lit the sixth candle for Hanukkah tonight, where we light our candles every night. And keep us moving forward, people. Keep us moving forward. And light the world and bring a little joy this holiday season. I do like the holiday set. I mean, I gotta say, folks, we've you can Kelly can multitask and be right and still be kind. And then practice being kind. Oh, Kelly. But I was saying, I like our holiday set. I like the Peanut Gallery did a nice job with our holiday set. I do. We've had many different sets during our broadcast time here, and I'm enjoying being on the holiday set right now. Let's see. What do I got for quotes tonight? I got 2 tonight. I got 2 quotes tonight that are NARTS is a diverse group of supportive people. Amen, Kim. Amen. It is. We are. We're diverse in our backgrounds. We're diverse in where we came from. We're diverse in our knowledge. We're diverse in our within our industry. We all have our little niches within this. You know, some know clothing, some know numbers, some know furniture. Some are not for profit. Some only wish they were not for profit. You know, there is so much that we all bring, and together we are resale strong. So we are truly blessed. Let's see here. Okay, so I got a couple quotes, and they tie into things I've been talking about today. Because I gotta say, my phone and email, and some of you that are waiting to touch base with me know this, has really been picking up lately. And it's a variety of things, and I incorporate them into the show because, you know, as I've said many a time, if somebody's taking the time to call me about it, usually there's a lot more people that I really wish I knew what Neil thought about this, or I wish I had another opinion on this. And so my one quote comes from that, and it's from a staffing discussion I had today about building a team and working your team and building them up and empowering them. And this quote is, "A mature company is founded on a broader perspective, an entrepreneurial perspective, a more intelligent point of view about building a business that works not because of you, but without you." Think about that. Building a business that works not because of you, but without you. I often say people ask, what does Neil do, or what's his job? And, one of my most important jobs is to get all the right people on the bus, okay, for our company. Not only get them on the bus, but get them in their seats, and get them in the right seat, and then make sure they have all the tools that they could possibly need to do their job. And then ultimately, the most important thing I do, that is one of the hardest things for so many owners, the most important thing that Neil does is get the heck out of the way. Get the heck out of the way. And I know the more irrelevant I become, the more I know I am doing my job well, okay? And that I'm building a good company, and that I'm building a company that does not need me to be there for every little thing. That doesn't mean I can't support, that doesn't mean I can't mentor, that doesn't mean I can't help work and grow them up, and it doesn't mean I don't remember how to do many of the things that we do in our business, but it is building a business that works not because I'm there, but without me. And we're focusing on progress, not perfection, okay? And so making that progress. So does your business work because you, but without, not a business that works not because of you, but without you. So think about that, because I really liked that quote, and it really came in, I like my quotes, but it really came to fruition today. While I was having a conversation with somebody about building their team. Well, Kelly, I would argue that they have a rowdy bus driver. I would argue that their bus driver's pretty rowdy there, as well as the passengers. My next quote, and this makes me hopeful this week, as I, and I so appreciate all the advocacy that everybody has been doing along with me, filling out those NRF from our friends at the National Retail Federation, their call to actions to tell Congress to act. It actually does have an effect. I mean, it may not seem like much when you do it. It only takes a minute to do it. And I've asked you guys to do so many. Ellen, got quoted in hers the other day on the National Retail Federation Facebook page, which was awesome. But we may get some Christmas cheer out of Washington. It's not by any stretch of the imagination done. Hey, Jennifer, great to have you here tonight. Good talking with you and Brad today. It's not by any of the any sense a done deal yet, but it is looking upbeat. The possibility of something out of Congress is looking upbeat. And that brings my next quote of the night to mind. The fact that you can only do a little is no excuse for doing nothing. The fact that you can only do a little is no excuse for doing nothing. And, Congress has done nothing for a long time here. And so it would be really nice if they did something. It would spread some Christmas cheer to a lot of people. and I remain optimistic that we may actually they may actually pull something out of their hat here this Christmas, and before they go off and take their holiday. So by no stretch of the imagination a done deal, but it is looking better than it was just even a couple of days ago. So I keep fingers crossed. If you haven't done the National Retail Federation call to action, please do it. It's on the NARTS Facebook page and narts.org/resalestrong. And let's keep the pressure on our folks in Congress to actually show up and do a little, because that's better than doing nothing, and will help so many businesses, as we get through this and work our way to the other side. So keeping fingers crossed, and doing little, I don't know, like a rain dance. I don't want it to snow, but a rain dance that Congress gets their act together there. Budgeting. So I've been talking about budgeting and getting that together, and I have been working on a master spreadsheet to walk you right through this, and I am this close. I've got the rest of the formulas to plug in. It was one of the things that I had a mental block on. The issue that I was having in helping you guys budget for next year, and as I said, we're going to budget for the first quarter. We're going to do a sales and expense budget for the first quarter, and then we're going to work from there, and tweak from there, and our budget for the second quarter is going to be calculated probably in a different way. But my big issue mentally, as I was playing with the spreadsheets and laying this out in a spreadsheet that everybody could follow, and I know it's easier for me as I'm a spreadsheet guy, and most people are not. Most people have a hate-hate relationship, not even a love-hate relationship with spreadsheets. They have a hate-hate relationship with them. And the issue that I was having in making this adaptable for anyone is it is variable how long you've been open since you were allowed to reopen. That is a variable in this that I was having problems mentally wrapping my arm around. Some people have been open for 5 months. Some people have been open for 4. Some people have been open for 7. You know, it really varies by part of the country where you're open and how to calculate your run rate. Because what we're trying to get at is what we're running at as a percentage, taking your sales and figuring out how we're doing in comparison to last year as a percentage, and how we're doing for expenses. Because just because your sales are down doesn't mean your expenses are down. There's so many other expenses, like, you know, we've talked about, depending on how you classify your expenses. One of the big ones that's up is supplies, okay? Another one that's up for many is labor, either because it costs you more to get people back to work, or because you're having more people work or more payroll hours because you had to, because of the way you've pivoted your business. Because it's taking you more labor to sell online or do something else. So I've got it in my. I was working on spreadsheets for other things today, and I'm like, duh, V8 moment here. For those of you old enough to know what a V8, I should have had a V8 moment is, okay. I'm like, oh, this is what I need to apply to my spreadsheet, redo the formulas, and it will all work for everybody. So I know what I have to do now, Now I just need to take some time at my desk to do it. Definitely by Thursday, I will have that spreadsheet done so that we can step through it. I'll have it early enough by Thursday so that we can step through that and get that out to everybody. And we can walk our way through that. So we'll definitely do that. Yeah, well, labor's going up everywhere, Kitty. Labor is going up everywhere. The cost of labor is going up, and wait until the Biden team gets a hold of the labor department, and you're going to see some things go up. We are. If you are in an area that is not tracking towards a $15 minimum wage, you will be. So if you are not in an area, so just keep this in the back of your head from a business perspective. If you are not in an area that is already legislated somewhere in the neighborhood of a $15 minimum wage, you will be. I can promise you that. In the next 24 months, you will be in an area that is tracking for a $15 minimum wage. That's not to scare you, because while frustrating, it is not to scare you. It is to help you think about ways to become more efficient. But, we're all headed for a $15 minimum wage, possibly a $15 index to something, so they don't have to go back to the well all the time. But it is about getting more efficient, and it is about streamlining your operations. And that's the other topic that I'm going to have to talk about. So one of the other topics that's been brought up to me that I need to take a deeper dive on is websites and website sales. And I actually came up with some good numbers to calculate on that, because I don't want to give the impression that website sales are easy. This is not. You got to remember, when you started your website, you got to think of your website as like when you started your business. And I know that's hard for some of us to remember, okay? But when you started your business, you weren't flooded with customers. When you started way back whenever it was, I don't care if it was last year or 20 years ago, okay? When you opened the doors, there weren't people flooding in with money and saying, here, let me give you all this money. I want to buy whatever's in your store. When we opened our store, okay, originally, we had a bunch of racks pushed up front against the window, so it looked like we had a lot in the store. Okay, that was our opening day, 1998. That was our setup that we had bought on our own. Rebecca's clothes that she had outgrown, clothes that we had bought, and consignments from friends in the moms group Cassandra was in. That was our start, okay? In the early days of the business, there wasn't, crowds of people fighting over things. There wasn't, constant sales every hour, every minute, transactions in double digits. I mean, one of the things that we talk about is, as we grew, we had a bucket for hangers underneath the register, and as we grew, it was great. You threw a hanger in there, and we had 4 different types of hangers, and we'd sort them at the end of the day into the 4 different bins, because we only had space under the register for one. Well, that was fine when we were doing 5 sales a day, 20 sales a day, 25 sales, 50 sales. But as we grew and did more, that wasn't fine. But my point with this, and comparing it to the web, is that's sort of how starting a business on the web isn't instant sales. And but it does drive traffic both in-store and online. And we're going to talk more about that. I actually have some stats that I started working on today for it, because people were asking me, Are their expectations wrong? Are they doing something wrong with their online store? And I wanted to create some perspective on that. Wow, Goodwill's paying $14 an hour there. Well, they also still have some volunteer labor in there too. Some of them, anyways. I'm not sure about your area. That's actually pretty high for South Carolina, Rick. I would have thought it would have been less. So, but I want to delve into that. I'm going to dive into that and give you some comparative stats and benchmarks to work on that are more realistic to frame it, and to frame how we've stepped and grown over the years our website, because our website and the orders that we're fulfilling today isn't what we did 5 years ago and 10 years ago, but we've had a website that we've been building for years and years. So we're blessed with it, but it's a blessing of the fruits of the labor that we've put into it. So we're going to talk about that so that I can help you guys grow yours some more with what you're doing, because I want you to be able to get more out of what you've got. So that is upcoming this week, and probably into next week, because it's a big topic. But we aren't afraid of big topics here. Big topics are just mountains we have not climbed yet. And we will climb this mountain, because I don't want people to lose focus, especially as we head into the dark days of winter. Okay, I mean winter, the dark days of winter, the dark days of the Thanksgiving COVID surge, the dark days of the Christmas COVID surge are still ahead of us. Okay, it is going to get darker. All the experts are saying it's going to get darker with this. Before it gets lighter. So, but that there is a light, okay? Because the vaccines are here, there is a light. But we have to get through this dark period. And I don't want you to forsake your website and the investment you made in that early on in this pandemic. As we work our way to the other side, it can be a real help to get you to the other side. And to help you grow out of this on the other side, because part of this is also establishing another revenue stream for when things get better. If you still have this other revenue stream going too, you'll be in that much better shape, and that's where I want you. I want you to be stronger or in better shape. Congress, make it lighter, please. I'm working on it, Kim. I'm working on it. We will make it lighter. We will make it lighter. We will make it better. But the light is coming. It is going to get better. Okay, and I'm not turning out the light on you. Okay, I'm keeping it going. I'm keeping the light on, and I'm keeping the good. But that is a topic that I need to address, because a few of you are. I don't want you to lose your mojo or your strength on this, because there is so much good in it and so many good possibilities. So, I had a few emails on that today, and I'm like, I got to talk about it, because I don't want anybody to be discouraged on it, because there is so much possibilities, so many possibilities, and we're going to make that real for you, so that you. And bite-size it so you can do it. My peanut gallery will test out my theories before I test them on you, hopefully. But we'll get there. This video and everything I talk about here, every night, and all the resources that I talk about, including that National Retail Federation call to action to contact Congress, goes over to narts.org/resalestrong by noon the very next day. Noon the very next day. It's all there. It's all neatly organized. It's all easily accessible, and there's a direct link to these videos because you can't always watch it live, and sometimes you miss something and you want to go back, and that's okay. They're all there, organized by date, and they're there by the next day. Direct link to the YouTube channel. You're not alone running this store is right there, where you can like, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell so you know when another one drops. I am here every night at More 8 Than Ish, live in the Nards private Facebook group. That's where you find me, live in the Nards private Facebook group. If you have a question in between, you email me, Neil, Neil, at ECIstores.com, Neil at ECIstores.com. We start this program every night. Every night we start with the Good Morning, Good Night book. Tonight, if you were not here at the top of the program, we are on page 28. And this is a page written just for us. Good morning. Woke up achy and sad? Not alone. Woke up with purpose and joy? Not alone. Any way you slice it, you're not alone. Let's go. Our good night tonight is good night. Headed to bed, achy and sad? Not alone. Headed to bed with gratitude and satisfaction? Not alone. Any way you slice it, you're not alone. Let's Z. Ladies and gentlemen, there's your graphics. Cutting up that pie any way you slice it. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Neil Abrams, and I do like a good party, a wedding, a bar mitzvah, a congressional bill signing. Like those parties too. We will party again, and any way we party, I will be there with you. Any way we party, I promise you that. We will party, and when we are, I will be there. But until then, know that you, and most importantly you, yes you, I see you back there in the back row, you're not alone running this store. I'll see you tomorrow night, everybody. Have a great night. It's time for dessert.